Today we'll present the 10 oldest multiple rocket launcher systems still in active service, spanning over 7 decades of rocket systems evolution. Despite their age, many remain in use thanks to upgrades, battlefield reliability, and sheer destructive power. So without further ado, let's just get started. At number 10, the TOS-1. The TOS-1 is a heavy flamethrower system that entered Soviet service in 1988 and is mounted on a T-72 tank chassis. Developed for close infantry support in urban and mountain warfare, it uses thermobaric rockets for devastating blast effects. It fires 220mm rockets with a rate of fire of 30 rounds per 15 seconds. The effective range is between 5 and 6 kilometers. Russia remains the main operator, with Iraq and Kazakhstan among export users. Around 50 to 70 units were initially produced, though upgraded variants like TOS-1A are more common today. Despite its age, its raw destructive power ensures continued deployment in specific tactical roles. The 9th oldest MLRS is the Astros II. The Astros II, developed by Brazil's Avibras and introduced in 1983, is a modular MLRS capable of firing multiple rocket calibers from a wheeled chassis. It can launch 127mm, 180mm, and even 300mm rockets with ranges varying from 9 km to 90 km depending on the ammunition. Its rate of fire varies by rocket type, but it can launch a full salvo in less than a minute. Major operators include Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Indonesia. More than 270 launchers have been built over several decades. Number 8, the M270 MLRS. The M270 MLRS was introduced by the United States in 1983 and became a NATO standard multiple rocket launcher. It is tracked and can fire 227mm rockets and Army Tactical Missile System missiles. The system can launch 12 rockets or 2 missiles in under a minute with a maximum range of up to 300 kilometers for 80 cms. The US, UK, Germany, and several NATO allies are major operators, and over 1,200 units have been produced. It uses the M26, the M30, and M31 rocket families with GPS guidance on newer variants. The launcher is based on a modified Bradley chassis and offers armor protection for its crew. Despite its age, the M270 is being heavily modernized and will remain in use into the 2040s. Number 7. The K-136 Kuryeong. This entered service with South Korea in 1981 as a locally developed truck-mounted MLRS. It fires 130mm rockets from 36 launch tubes with a rate of fire that allows a full salvo to be discharged in 18 seconds. Its effective range is 23 to 30 kilometers depending on the rocket type. South Korea remains the sole operator, with hundreds of units still in reserve or frontline service. It is mounted on a KM809 6x6 truck and uses high explosives or pre-fragmented warheads. Approximately 150 to 200 units were built. Though aging, the K-136 remains in limited use due to its simplicity and cost-effectiveness. At number 6, the M77 Oanch. This is a Yugoslav-developed 128mm truck-mounted MLRS that entered service in 1977. It features 32 launch tubes and is capable of firing a full salvo in 20 seconds. Its effective range varies from 20 to 50 kilometers. Originally used by Yugoslavia, it remains in service with Serbia and several successor states including Bosnia and North Macedonia. About 150 to 200 units were built, many of which have since been modernized. Despite its Cold War origins, it remains a staple of Balkan artillery forces. Its rugged design and ease of maintenance contribute to its longevity. At number 5, the BM27 Eurogun. The BM27 Eurogun, introduced in 1975 by the Soviet Union, is a 220mm heavy MLRS. It has 16 launch tubes and can fire a full salvo in 20 seconds, with an effective range of 10 to 35 kilometers. The system can fire various munitions, including HE frag, cluster, incendiary, and chemical warheads. Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and several post-Soviet states still operate the system, with around 900 to 1,000 units produced. Though replaced in many roles by the Tornado series, Eurogun remains in service due to its firepower. It is often deployed in saturation bombardment roles during major offensives. Number 4. The RM-70. The RM-70 is a Czech adaptation of the Soviet BM21 Grad, introduced in 1972 and mounted on a Tatra 8x8 truck. It fires 40 122mm rockets in 20 seconds, with an effective range of 20 to 40 kilometers. It has been used by the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and exported to countries like Angola and Georgia. Over 350 units have been produced, many of which remain active or in reserve. The RM-70 uses HE frag, smoke, and cluster munitions. Its mobility, reload speed, and rugged design make it relevant even today. The system has seen combat from Africa to Eastern Europe. Number 3. The Type 63. The Type 63 entered service with China in 1963 as a 107mm light multiple rocket launcher. It features 12 launch tubes on a simple tripod and a light vehicle mount and is capable of firing all rockets in under 10 seconds. Its effective range is 8 kilometers. Widely exported, it has been used by over 30 countries and many non-state groups. Thousands were produced by China and licensed abroad, with variants made in Iran, North Korea, and Egypt. It fires high explosive or incendiary rockets and is highly portable. Number 2. The BM21 Grad. The BM21 Grad is one of the most prolific MLRS ever made, entering service with the USSR in 1963. Mounted on a Ural 375D 6x6 truck, it has 40 launch tubes for 122mm rockets and can fire a full salvo in 20 seconds. The effective range is 20 to 52 km, depending on rocket type. It has been used by over 50 countries and produced in the thousands, with estimates over 100,000 units built. It fires HE frag, smoke, incendiary, and cluster rockets. Russia, Ukraine, Iran, and India are among its many current users. The oldest MLRS still in use today is the BM14. The BM14 entered Soviet service in 1952 and fires 140mm rockets from 16 to 17 launch tubes, depending on variant. The system can fire its full salvo in under 15 seconds and has an effective range of 9 to 10 kilometers. It was mounted on various truck platforms, including the ZIS-151 and later Ural trucks, though obsolete by modern standards. Some countries like North Korea and Ethiopia may still maintain a few units. Around 1,500 to 2,000 were built during its production run. It can fire high explosive and chemical rockets. The BM14 served in numerous Cold War-era conflicts but gradually replaced by the more capable BM21 Grad. While phased out in most militaries, some irregular forces have used it in recent decades. With this, the Buzz is signing off for today, but don't forget to stay tuned and we'll see you guys again in our next video. Bye-bye.